Dancing bears, painted wings, things I almost remember. And the song someone sings once upon a December. Everyone started out a minimalist. When you think about it, nobody were born into this world holding anything. Possessions can make us happy only for a brief time, and then they suck up our time, energy, and freedom. In other words, the things you own end up owning you. Hey listeners, welcome to Door Talk, the journey to explore pearls of wisdom. In this episode, we go through the book Goodbye Things by Fumio Sasaki. The Japanese minimalism who confessed he used to accumulate so many things. But by practicing minimalism mindset over 5 years, he could gain a whole new lifestyle. We think we can become a minimalist until our lives settle down, but it's actually the other way around. By reading this book, you get so many ideas of how to get rid of what you don't need anymore. For now, take a minute to really focus on each item you can part with. Is it because it was expensive or attached with a fond memory? Or you think you might need it someday, or you'll be creative enough to make a good use out of it? What you have to do is to define the desire behind it and fulfill that hunger efficiently. Because the quality of existence, despite what you own, depends on how much you can fulfill your desires. Once it comes to decluttering, the crucial part is the decision to do it, not the act of doing it. And it might be easier when you divide them to the things you have to throw away, give away, or sell. And when you get rid of them, you don't have the usual responsibilities weighing you down. Let's start with the stuff that you can throw away because of the memory behind it. Take photos of them to preserve the memories that are associated with these belongings. Because throwing away your materials and throwing away your memories are two completely different actions. A souvenir from a trip or a gift that someone gave you, take pictures of them, and it will be easier to throw things away when you feel like you can't. Another tip is not getting creative when we try to discard things. This empty cookie tin might appear to be useless, but wait, what if I were to reuse it as a container for storing my medications? No matter how fantastic these ideas might be, it's probably wiser to do your best to ignore them. Another idea is thinking of stores as your personal warehouses. Our homes aren't museums, they don't need collections. Be social, be a borrower, rent what can be rented. We always think the grass is green next door, but the grass itself doesn't care. It's the person who owns that grass who's concerned about it. Sometimes we even use chemicals to dye the grass green so it matches the neighbor's lawn. But at some point, that grass is going to turn brown. Its natural beauty destroyed because of needless comparison. We can't help comparing ourselves with others. The problem is that there's no end to these comparisons. Let's make it more clear. Imagine a guy who works at a tech startup. He'll see a very skilled senior member of the company and compare himself with her. In turn, that woman might be comparing herself with the CEO who started the company, while the CEO may be comparing himself with another CEO, and that one be comparing herself with Bill Gates. So who does Bill Gates compare himself with? Maybe it's the younger version of himself or soon-to-be famous young entrepreneur. Once you start comparing yourself with others, you're always going to find someone who's better than you. So it's an endless game, but once you realize there's nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. Recent studies in neuroscience have revealed that there are certain areas in our brain that are active only when we're daydreaming or when our minds are wandering, which will be much more harder when you've got so many belongings to think about. So why do we tend to spend money on things instead of experiences? There is a term in psychology which is called the Zeigarnik effect that says people remember things that they once pursued and left incomplete more than the things that they had completed. So let's plan more on this new journey of more experiences. What we experience through life, regardless of our positions and the situation around, is much more from our own nature and ability to feel the world, like seeing, smelling, hearing, eating, and so on. And that due to Maslow's pyramid, you can see how our necessities define our evolution and quality of our experiences, which differentiate us from other creatures. This was a brief story of the minimalism journey, and if you read the whole book, you might enjoy it so much more. This was the one that I read when I was about moving to a new place, so it assured me to focus better on what I need and get rid of the rest. You can start by writing down the stuff you care more about and take away other stuff for a while to see whether you come back to them or not. Then you can throw them away with no doubt. Take the first step, you'll end up much more happier. Thanks for listening.